And in order to lay the groundwork for that, I think we have to talk about the dopamine economy that exists in our world today. The number of I mean, basically every consumer related industry is principally interested in how to harness people's dopamine system for that product or service's benefit, whether it be
Right.
social media, whether it be food, the way that food gets produced, the chemicals that are put into food, uh, sugar that's put into food, all of that sort of stuff. And then you think of the online world and environment,
Yeah.
pornography, being one we want to talk about most today. Really, all being about
Yeah.
tapping into this dopamine system because it demands attention. Uh,
Yeah.
and keeps us going back again and again to the same thing in order to be able to get that same hit.
Yeah.
So, Nick, can you talk a little bit
And
about the
even real quick, it even hops into like I was saying this. We had our pastor over the other night for dinner. We were talking about education, and even like Teresa is very passionate about the education system, and just being leery of technology in education. And even there can be this thought, and I don't think we're not conscious really of it, but what's happening is we're tapping into the dopaminergic systems within kids of making it more entertaining and more fun. And you got these smart boards and all this stuff. It's like great, learning's fun now, but what are the unintended consequences of that? Potentially can be like, well, one, the teacher can be a lot more lazy because they just got to click some buttons sometimes. So that's some interesting unintended consequences. But also with the kids, you could have them build a puzzle out for hours and have slow dopamine release and earn it, or these quick releases in there. I remember when well, I don't remember. I read a book on one of the things they talked about was Sesame Street and how people were really excited about how now kids are going to love learning. But what's happening is this rapid release of dopamine that you're actually more loving the feeling than the learning and the process of that you need to go through to really ingest something into you by consuming it and really wrestling with the content. Anyways, all that to say, it's really everywhere. The dopamine economy, as
yeah.
you mentioned.
I don't know about you, but I'd rather learn from a cartoon elephant than a human being. That sounds
100%, man.
that sounds way more
100%.
entertaining.
My brain too.
Yeah, lay the foundation, the environment that we find ourselves in today, in a many phrases or ideas for articulating the world, the abundance environment, comfort, etc. The world that we find ourselves living in, where it really isn't so much about overcoming challenge as much as it is how quickly can I get to pleasure and kind of a pleasure expectation, even in the context of work, right? Which might have to do with the education system, the way that we went through school, the way that we were trained, um, and what it's doing to our brain, and then we're going to get to how to overcome it. So can you just lay the landscape of the dopamine economy that we live in today?